Imagine a time before pyramids, before writing, before cities. An ancient world, wild and unknown. The land was untamed, the air thick with mystery, and every shadow could hold a secret from the dawn of humanity. This was a world where survival depended on wit, courage, and the ability to adapt to the unknown. In a cave in the Philippines, archaeologists carefully brush away earth, not for gold, but for clues to our origins. Each handful of soil removed is a step back in time, peeling away the layers of history that have hidden the story of our earliest ancestors for tens of thousands of years. What they find isn't treasure, but stone tools, simple, yet profound. These objects, shaped by ancient hands, are silent witnesses to a forgotten era, holding secrets about how early humans lived, hunted, and survived in a challenging world. To the untrained eye, they're just rocks. But hidden among the ordinary stones are artifacts that changed everything we thought we knew. But to scientists, each edge is a story of skill and survival. Every chip and groove reveals the ingenuity of people who learned to shape their environment, turning raw stone into tools for cutting, scraping, and building a life in a harsh landscape. These tools, found on an island never connected to the mainland, force us to rethink human history. Their presence here is a puzzle, a clue that our ancestors were far more resourceful and adventurous than we ever imagined. The Philippines, a nation of islands, was a formidable challenge for ancient people. Vast seas separated them from the world. The waters were unpredictable, the distances daunting, and the risks immense. How did early humans reach these islands? The question lingers, echoing through the cave's silent chambers. They couldn't have walked or swum. The ocean was a barrier that seemed impossible to cross with the technology of the time. The tool's presence suggests something extraordinary. Our ancestors were explorers, not just wanderers. They must have built boats crafted from wood and hope and set out across the unknown seas. They saw the ocean not as a barrier, but as a pathway. The horizon called to them, promising new lands, new resources, and new opportunities for survival. These tools are the first hard evidence that humans conquered the sea far earlier than we believed. They show that the urge to explore, to push beyond the limits of the known, is deeply rooted in our species. This discovery connects a small cave in Southeast Asia to the grand story of human expansion. It links the Philippines to the great migrations that shaped the world, revealing a chapter that was missing from our history books. It's like finding a footprint on a distant moon, forcing us to ask new questions. Who were these people? What drove them to risk everything for a chance at a new life across the sea? Our ancestors weren't just land-bound hunters. They were mariners. They possessed the courage to face the unknown, to build vessels and trust the waves to carry them to new horizons. They looked at the ocean and saw new worlds. Each sunrise brought hope, and each journey was a leap of faith into the vast blue. The simple tools in that cave are a key to understanding our species' boldness. They remind us that curiosity and courage have always been at the heart of what it means to be human. They prove that the spirit of exploration is ancient, and it began with a leap into the unknown. The story of humanity is, at its core, a story of discovery, one that started in places just like this. How do we know these tools are 40,000 years old? Science, not guesswork, gives us the answer. Archaeologists use radiometric dating, not on the tools, but on the earth layers where they're found. Each sediment layer is a page in history. The deeper you go, the older the story. Radiocarbon dating works for organic remains, but for ancient layers, scientists use uranium series and thermoluminescence. By dating materials above and below the tools, they create a reliable time frame. In the Philippines, the layers were undisturbed, a perfect time capsule. Rigorous testing placed the artifacts at 40,000 years old. This isn't a guess, it's hard evidence. The finding shatters the old belief that sea travel was a recent invention. It shows that during the Ice Age, some humans were already masters of the sea. The dating of these tools rewrites our understanding of human ingenuity. What were these tools? Not machines, but stone implements, core tools, and sharp flakes. Core tools acted as axes or choppers, perfect for felling trees or bamboo. Flakes were the knives and scrapers, used for shaping wood and cutting vines. To build a boat, you need both heavy tools for raw materials, fine tools for detail. In the Philippines, bamboo was likely the main building material, strong, flexible, buoyant. Stone tools harvested bamboo, shaped it, and prepared plant fibers for rope. These weren't crude rafts, they were engineered platforms, lashed tight and ocean-ready. Ancient boat builders were skilled engineers, not just survivors. Their mental blueprints and stone tools turned forests into watercraft. These tools bridged the gap between imagination and reality, launching humans across the sea. Crossing the open ocean 40,000 years ago was a perilous undertaking, nothing like the safety and comfort of a modern cruise. Imagine setting out into the unknown, with only the horizon ahead and the roar of the waves beneath you. The Wallace Line, a deep-water trench, formed a natural boundary separating Asia from the islands of Wallacea, including what is now the Philippines. This invisible line marked a dramatic shift in both geography and the challenges faced by early humans. Even during the Ice Age, when sea levels were lower, this was still a daunting expanse, 60 to 100 kilometers of open water, with no land in sight for days. The dangers were immense. Sudden storms could appear without warning, typhoons could batter fragile rafts, and unpredictable currents could sweep voyagers far off course. A bamboo raft, no matter how well built, was always vulnerable to the relentless elements. The ocean could turn from calm to chaos in moments. There were no weather forecasts, no rescue teams, and no way to call for help, just courage, skill, and the hope that the sea would be merciful. Powerful ocean currents could pull a raft far off course, sending voyagers adrift for days or even weeks, with no guarantee of ever reaching land. Early navigators relied on simple paddles and a deep, almost instinctive knowledge of the sea, reading the stars, the winds, and the movement of the waves. The ocean was mysterious and full of unknowns. Every shadow beneath the waves could be a threat: sharks, unseen reefs, or something even more dangerous. Voyages required careful planning. Fresh water, food, and tools for survival had to be packed with precision. Every item could mean the difference between life and death. These weren't accidental journeys. They were deliberate, organized migrations, planned by people who understood the risks and prepared for them as best they could. Success demanded not just individual bravery, but cooperation, foresight, and resilience. Every person on the raft had a role to play. The people who made these crossings were not just brave, they were brilliant survivalists, innovators, and explorers, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. They faced the abyss and, against all odds, chose to paddle forward into the unknown, driven by hope and determination. Each voyage was a leap of faith, a testament to human daring and the unbreakable will to survive and explore. These journeys changed the course of history, shaping the genetic and cultural landscape of entire regions for millennia to come. The ocean, once a barrier, became a bridge, connecting people, ideas, and worlds that had never met before. Building boats and crossing vast oceans wasn't just about having the right tools or materials. It was about the power of human minds working together. This remarkable feat reveals a leap in human cognition, complex language, advanced planning, and deep cooperation. You can't build a seaworthy vessel or plan a long-distance voyage without sophisticated communication and the ability to share ideas. Knowledge of boat design, weather patterns, and navigation had to be passed down, taught, and improved upon with each generation. These early mariners thought in careful steps, gathering tools, selecting the right materials, building, provisioning for the journey, and finally, navigating the unknown. And then they would settle in new lands, expanding the boundaries of their world. Such sequential logical thinking is a hallmark of modern humans, setting us apart from other species. They projected themselves into the future, imagining what lay beyond the horizon, and then worked backwards step by step to make that vision a reality. Innovation and problem-solving were essential at every stage. They engineered creative solutions to cross the unpredictable sea, adapting their designs and methods as they learned. Failure was an inevitable part of the process, but persistence, resilience, and learning from mistakes eventually led to success. Social trust and organization were vital. These were group efforts requiring everyone to play a role, not solo adventures, but true collaborations built on shared goals and mutual support. Leaving familiar land for the unknown required not just skill, but immense courage and hope. This wasn't mere survival. It was driven by curiosity, ambition, and the desire to discover what lay beyond. The journey across the sea was a triumph of both mind and spirit, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. It set the stage for all future human exploration, opening up new worlds and possibilities. Our ancestors' greatest tool was their imagination, the spark that made every cognitive leap possible. This discovery changes the timeline of human migration and technology. For years, we thought our ancestors spread on foot, with sea travel as a late development. But the evidence shows the ocean was a highway, not a wall. As early as 40,000 years ago, humans were mariners, not just foragers. This opens new migration routes, leapfrogging from island to island. The settlement of Australia, 65,000 years ago, now makes sense. Crossing Wallis Seas wasn't an accident, it was planned. The Philippine tools are the smoking gun for deliberate boat building. Our ancestors were navigators, not castaways. This pushes back the origins of language, planning, and symbolic thought. Human history is not a slow march, but bursts of innovation. Brave voyagers shaped our story by daring to sail. The implications reach far beyond the Philippines. Maritime skills developed here became a toolkit for global colonization. Boats unlocked the last 30% of the world, making us a planetary species. The settlement of the Americas may have involved coastal migration by boat, not just land bridges. If ancient Southeast Asians had boats, so could early Americans. The Philippine mariners give weight to the coastal migration theory. Later, Polynesian navigators inherited this legacy, crossing the Pacific with advanced canoes. The first Walasian voyages were the opening chapter of humanity's seafaring saga. These explorers were the ancestors of all great maritime cultures. The ocean was our first interstellar void, bamboo rafts, our first starships. The drive to explore is a cosmic force in human history. It took us across oceans, and one day, it will take us to the stars. Our journey began with a leap into the unknown. For the Philippines, this discovery is a source of national pride. It places the archipelago at the heart of humanity's earliest achievements. The Filipino story begins with pioneering mariners, not recent migrants. The sea was a cradle, not a barrier. Ancient seafaring echoes in local traditions and boat designs. This history enriches Filipino identity and inspires new generations. The Philippines is now a key site for understanding human origins. Protecting these sites is vital. They hold clues to our shared past. The journey of those first mariners is both a Filipino and a human story. Their courage and ingenuity connect us all across time and sea. The story of the ancient mariners teaches us humility. Our knowledge is always evolving. Each discovery opens new questions. How did they navigate? Did they meet other human species? The human family tree is more tangled than we imagined. New techniques, DNA analysis, climate modeling will reveal more. We stand at the edge of new oceans, space, technology, the unknown. Like our ancestors, we face daunting challenges. But we are problem solvers, born to explore. Our story is still unfolding, and the next great leap awaits.